Want to know something funny? When I first started lifting, like the very beginning, when I would train legs, in my mind, I would pretty much only hit calves because I was like, but all people can see is your calves. Why would I train the rest of my legs? Which is funny because now when I train legs, I haven't done calves in I haven't done like a calf race in probably a few years. Anyways, I've never done like a full day of eating for you guys. Like I've shown you my meals here and there, but I've never done like, this is what I eat in a day. So I think I'm gonna show you guys my meals today. So for me, I find the easiest way to make progress with your eating and like be consistent is to just eat the exact same meals every single day. You know, you can do like if it's your macros or all that shit, but like I don't like having to constantly add stuff up. Like I just want to eat the same stuff and I know what I'm getting. Then let's say you're bulking and you're trying to put on size and you stop growing and you're just eating the same meals every day. All you have to do is like add to those meals and then it's like, then you'll be back in a surplus. Also, I really don't do any protein shakes or protein meal shit like that. I just eat real food, like a bunch of real food. I don't know. I'm gonna show you guys. Before we do that though, we have to go to Walmart so we can actually make those meals because I don't have any food right now. So let's go do that. Also real quick, these zip ups you guys always see me wearing, they did get restocked. So now you guys can be like, when are they coming back? Because they're in stock. Just go on the site and then search 515 and it'll show up and use code Nick at checkout. Let's go to Walmart. Okay, so for the first thing, I just get ground beef. I always get, I've told you this before, but I always get the grass-fed, like, organic shit. This one, I actually feel a difference when I eat the grass-fed one versus these other ones, but, like, if you're not trying to, like, do it brokey style, that stuff still works. And since I'm bulking, I just get the 85-15. When I get, like, the 93-7, I find it harder to get my meals all the way down. Lately, I've been just getting some honey just to, I just like put some in my mouth before I go to the gym for some like quick carbs or sugars before I work out. Okay, then I like to get Pop-Tarts. So post-workout, you know, people always say it's like you need protein, but in reality, you want like carbs post-workout and then some fast-acting carbs so it can like shovel and refill up your glycogen stores. Now, Pop-Tarts probably aren't the most best carb source on the planet, but I kind of like them and, you know, it's not that bad. Okay, lately, with my last meal, I've just been having a glass of Fairlife, just for some extra calories. But me, I try to not eat a lot of dairy just because I notice I break out like on my face a lot more when I have more dairy. It's like the only dairy I have. Okay, next, I just like to get like some gallons of water. So I drink a gallon of water every day. You know, that's like important if you're trying to be jacked and like lift heavy and shit. It's all zoomed in. I find it easiest to just get one of these and drink one every day. You know, they're just like $1 versus doing it, you know, trying to, I don't know. I find this like really easy for getting all my water in. You know, it's like a goal. Just finish that shit. You could do like, you could just get like a half-gallon jug and refill that shit, but I don't know, like going and washing it and then it gets all crusty and shit. I don't know. So I get bone broth for breakfast that I'm gonna show you in a little bit, our 3 p.m. breakfast. Okay, then I'm also getting Frank's Red Hot for our first meal. I don't really fuck with the spicy shit, but so I've been eating this meal for a few months. The guy who I saw make it on TikTok where I got the idea, he uses that. And then I also saw in like one of Lex Little's recent videos, he's like, that's the goated sauce. So I'm gonna try it. You know, I don't really fuck with spicy stuff, but maybe it'll make it a little more edible. Maybe. Okay, to put into context how bad I am with spicy shit, like for me, Panda Express orange chicken is like low key kind of spicy. I don't know. You can't like cook with that. I was just born that way. I also eat like 5 eggs every day. I'm gonna get these ones. I like to get pasture raised eggs, but they don't have those at Walmart anymore. The place that has them is like 25 minutes away, so I'm gonna just get these today. Apparently, what I've heard is that like all the organic, free range, cage-free shit, that's like all bullshit. And the only thing that actually matters in terms of like having better eggs is if they're pasture raised. But I'm gonna fall for a bit of marketing today and get the organic ones. Also, fucking the cheap eggs are gonna make you just as jacked as the other eggs. These just are more healthy for you. Okay, so for the first meal, I'm gonna show you guys how to make it because I know a lot of you guys don't know how to make anything. I've been there before. It's fine. I remember when I started, like, man, I don't wanna make chicken. That seems like a big feat for something like me, but like it's actually really easy, and I'm gonna show you guys. If you guys are trying to do shit like really cheap, rice and chicken is where it's at. Like the amount of protein you get and shit like that out of chicken, and then obviously you can just buy a ginormous bag of rice. This is the rice I got. I already started the rice because that takes a little longer than everything else. If you guys are eating a lot of rice, trust me, just get a rice cooker. All you do is, you know, if you want to do like half a cup of rice, you just put in half a cup of rice and then you put in half a cup of water. You just hit start and it does it for you, and then it tells you when it's done. Shit's like $20. And then I would invest in a food scale. They're super cheap also, and it makes it so you can be consistent with your shit instead of just kind of guessing. Okay, so for the first meal, it's just 12 ounces of beef, 4 eggs, and then half a cup of rice uncooked. Like I cook it, but it's half a cup when it's uncooked. And then I just jumble all that shit together, and it's like, yeah. You just put some olive oil or butter on the pan. I'm gonna just put like a tablespoon of butter. When you cook beef, all you fucking do is you just like chop it up a bunch and then move it around a bunch until it's cooked. Also, I just add like some salt and garlic. I like to add a lot of salt to my meals because, you know, it's good for like lifting. Okay, then when that shit's done cooking, I just scramble up 4 eggs right next to it. Okay, and then when that's done, I just add I feel weird being like a cooking person, but I add the rice and then I just mix all that shit up. Okay, and then I just put all that shit into a big bowl. If you guys don't have a big bowl and like a big ass plate and you're trying to get big, you're probably not gonna get that big. Okay, this is where the bone broth comes in. I just add like half a cup of this. It actually makes it way easier to eat. I also add a bunch of salt to my meals, just because it's like good for when you're lifting, you know, better pumps, better muscle contractions. You also have to drink a bunch of water if you're gonna do a bunch of salt though, because if you don't, you're just gonna cramp up and it's gonna fucking suck. And then you can just add something like this for some flavor. But yeah, that's our breakfast. I hope this like helps you guys. You know, I don't really watch full days of eating, but I get it. I get how it can be helpful to like have food ideas. So I eat this shit every single day, same way, all that shit. That's just what works for me. It's like 700-pound deadlift diet tutorial. If you get the regular beef and not the grass-fed beef, it might only get you to like 699 pounds, but it's still decent. Just remember, when it comes to eating, even if you're not eating the same meals as me, it's all about consistency. Let's say you're trying to grow and you eat really big one day and then you eat small the next day. Well, it's just gonna average out to only eating medium. So you have to eat big every fucking day if you're trying to grow, or you're just gonna be like spinning your wheels, and it's not gonna go where you want. So be consistent. I'll see you guys when we eat our pre-workout meal. Okay, so for the last meal, it's just 10 ounces of chicken and then 3/4 cup of rice. I already showed you guys how to make chicken and rice in this video, so I'm not going to show you guys that this time. But if you do want to learn how to make chicken and rice, go watch that video. I eat this like an hour before I lift, and then I let it digest for a little bit, and then I'll go to the gym. And then before I go work out, I'll have like a spoonful of honey just for some like sugars and shit. And I'm slowly working on this gallon. I'm going to try to get like another third down before we go work out. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this shit and then I will see you guys when it's time to go lift.
Something about the night that makes you feel alone. It's quiet, empty, and as dark as the deepest parts of your mind.
Yo, one thing I find kind of funny is that most influencers, like fitness influencers that I see that have been lifting for a few years, they all chill out on like the pre-workout. Like they'll go through their early stages where they always, go crazy on pre-workout. Then they all mature to this spot where it's like maybe they'll do an energy drink pre-workout, and that's enough for them. For me, maybe it hasn't been enough time, but I've never gotten there. Like every time I lift, I like having a strong, like hard-hitting pre-workout. I've told you guys this before, but outside the gym, I don't drink any caffeine. Like I don't do coffee, energy drinks, any of that shit outside the gym, but I do always probably get in like 350, 400 mgs of caffeine. And because I don't drink any caffeine outside the gym, I feel like my caffeine tolerance stays pretty steady, despite always going pretty heavy on the pre-workout, because I feel like it's in a culmination of caffeine throughout the day plus pre-workout is what like really ruins people's caffeine tolerance. Like pre always hits for me, but I don't really take breaks. Just like if I take a rest day, that's my tolerance break. But I also don't ever go like extremely overboard where people are having like 600, 700 mgs of caffeine. Pre-workout is like my one vice in life. Like I live a pretty healthy life. I don't smoke or drink. I always get 8 hours of sleep. I eat pretty clean, whole foods, shit like that. And I'm not saying that to brag, but it's like I'm a pretty healthy person. But like when it comes to pre, I always do like to go a little on the extreme end. I don't know, for me, it's like part of the experience. Like I love getting hyped up. It's like part of the roller coaster of going to the gym. Like you drink this and you're like hyped on the way to the gym and you're like hit your top set and that's like the peak. And then, you do the rest of your workout, all that shit. And then you have that like pre-workout crash and you kind of like get in this calm, relaxed state as you leave the gym. I don't know, it's like, it adds to the experience for me. I like that shit, I don't know. Maybe there just hasn't been enough time for me to mature past my getting cracked on pre-air. Anyways, we're gonna go hit some deadlifts again. I'm gonna slam 2 scoops of Wrecked and Raged. And yeah, I will see you guys at the gym. Yo, as you guys saw, we did a little top single with 675, and then I dropped down and I did 585 for 7. 585 for 7 is a PR, but like I think on the right day I could probably get that for like maybe 9. It's kind of crazy, like literally just a couple months ago 675 was the goal, and now I feel like I could do it any session. Low key, I kind of like half deadlifted yesterday, so I came in and I worked up to 675 and I tried it for 2, but I didn't really feel the best yesterday. Now I'll throw it up, but I failed it and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just come back and try that again today. And obviously we didn't get it for 2 either today. I'm being kind of irresponsible. I'm having really fun like pushing myself to my limits, but it's not really the most productive training for me. You know, I'm building up a lot of fatigue and it's really catching up to me. Like hitting 675 all the time is not really what I should be doing. Like right now, I'm just having fun going heavy, like really heavy every session. And every time I'm just like, all right, next time I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna do like 585 for a set of 3 and then maybe some sets with 5 plates, you know, and then ramp my way back up so I can actually hit a PR. Next time I'm gonna do that. I promise. Another thing that threw me off when I did the 675 is there was a few people here, and when I looked up, there was like 4 people, like dead ass, like not like low key watching me, but like watching me. It was sort of like, and I'm not really like a performer, so I was like, oh shit, this is what type of time we on today. So that threw me off a little bit, but I mean, it still moved. I still got it up. If I build my way back up, I think we could get 675 for like 2 or 3 in like maybe a month. But yeah, you can't always go fucking balls to the wall on deadlifts because it's like, it's a very fatiguing exercise, and always being at the top end is, you know, you can only be up there for like a little bit amount of time before it catches up to you, like it is to me right now. Anyways, I just have a couple more sets of deadlifts. I'm gonna keep it at 585. You know, I'm gonna still go heavy for this session and then drop it the next time. But I'm not gonna do as many reps. Like my body is feeling it. Like I can feel the fatigue. Shit's getting heavy.
You did good, sir.
It's
One thing I want to talk to you guys about is pushing yourself in the gym. Like obviously eating is holding back a lot of your guys' potential, but another thing is your ability to push yourself in the gym. And I've kind of talked about it before, but I'll go through these phases where when I come lift, I kind of just go through the motions. Like maybe I'd be pushing myself or like going to failure, but I feel like there's like different types of failure. Like if you're like really locked in and you know, you're hyped and you know, you just have that sort of energy in you, you know, and you go to failure, it's gonna be way different versus like if you're kind of just going through the motion. Like maybe you do go to failure, but it's different. Like you're not training as hard. Think of like when you go for a 1 rep max, like you get super hyped up, you know, you get all this energy into you. Like I don't know, everyone kind of does different stuff to get them into that zone. Like, you know, maybe like for me, I like to like bark at the weights a little bit, and like music helps me a lot. Like the right song will really, you know, get that adrenaline pumping so I can rip the weight off the floor or do whatever. I don't know, for me, I'm more of like an emotional lifter. Like I like to tap into my emotions. It helps me push myself. Everyone's different though. Like what pushes everyone in the gym to like really train hard is different. You just gotta find out what it is for you. You know, tap into that. You guys know how to really push yourself when it comes to a 1 rep max. Now imagine if you could bring that sort of same energy into every single set. Now obviously that's not like really possible because I feel like your brain would probably explode, but something similar to that. Like for instance with deadlifts, something like, and this is all relative, but for me, something like 545, if I'm just sort of going through the motions 545 is gonna be a little heavy for me. But if I'm really dialed in and really focused and, you know, have a little bit of crazy in me, I guess, I could throw that around for like a shit ton of reps, no problem. Versus when I'm just going through the motions, you know, a set of like 6 might be pretty fucking difficult for me. Even if you're not going to failure, like obviously on something like deadlifts, you don't want to be going into failure every set. It's still important to show up with that same type of energy because you're just gonna move the weight way different. Like, let's say you're going for an RPE 7 set, you know, you're not going to absolute failure. You know, I could probably do like more weight at RPE 7, you know, it's still gonna be RPE 7 if I'm just like really dialed in versus just going through the motions. Like I said before, you know, they'll both move at RPE 7, but it's more weight, and you know, I'm probably gonna get more out of that.
Eyes in the color, my disguise masked up. I'm just sat there with a raw gaze. Take me up a pen and I draw blanks. So like the my dog breaks. Full metal jacket, kinda heavy. At the bottom of the fucking lake, I'm waiting to die, but I wasn't born ready. Shaking up my life, I'm trying to hold steady.
One thing that can help you a lot with training hard is having goals. So tracking your lifts can help with that a lot. You know, every exercise. I remember when I first started, I would track every single lift. Like tricep extensions. Last time I did 40 for a set of 8. Next time I go in, I'm gonna try to do 40 pounds for a set of 9, or I'm gonna up it 5 pounds. You know, inch my way up. Try to beat what I did last time every single time. And pushing myself like that helped me progress like really fast when I first started. Like I was getting strong really fast. Just because, you know, I was eating a shit ton and I was pushing myself in that way. And the last thing on this is training is like a million times more addicting and fun and feels so much better when you're really pushing yourself to your limits. Like when I do a set that's like really to like my limit, I get like such a dopamine rush after it. And you feel so many more things in the gym when you're training that way. You'll also feel way better about yourself because you know you really like fucking push yourself to the limits. It's really important. And when I go through these phases where I'm not pushing myself like I should be, you know, training just isn't nearly as fun. Like it just doesn't hit the same at all. Like even if it's just like a set of bicep curls where it's just like to absolute failure, like do a drop set, all that bullshit, you know, you just get such a dopamine rush. Like it feels like fucking crazy good. So yeah, if you guys really want to see your potential, you know, you guys need to learn to push yourselves, you know, not just going to failure, but like really going to failure and being locked in and focused and bringing that type of energy to all your sets. And then on top of eating, you know, those are the things that are going to push your progress to where you want to go. But yeah, that's all for deadlifts. When it comes to deadlifts, you know, if you guys are like more novice lifters, like let's say you haven't pulled 405 yet, I wouldn't get too wrapped up in the whole RPE programming bullshit. You know, in the beginning, I think the best thing you can do is just push yourself because it's not going to fatigue your body as much until you get up to those higher weights. Yeah, I'm gonna run a little back workout and then I'll see you guys after the gym. All right, that's a wrap. One thing I want you guys to realize is that like 95% of your gains are going to come from like the two things I was talking about today. You know, it's just like consistently eating and then how hard you're training in the gym. Now, you don't have to eat as clean as I do or eat all the, you know, whole foods. I know it can be tough, especially when you're younger and maybe you're not working a job. I mean, I worked in high school and bought my groceries so I could do this type of shit. But when I did start, I didn't eat clean, that's for sure. Like I was having like 2,000 calorie mass gainer shakes where I just fucking threw everything possible in the blender. But I was still very consistent with the eating. You just got to learn to train with some passion. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, if you really love it and push yourself, that's where you'll get the most fulfillment, enjoyment out of it. I know I'm not the strongest lifter out there. You know, I'm like middle strong, but I'm not like elite level. But when I started, I always saw myself like getting this strong, like definitely. Like even when I was like benching 95 pounds for like a set of 5 on bench, I would watch David Lade videos and see him like deadlifting 585 or benching 315. I'd be like, I could do that. Like that could be me. And I still like keep the same sort of delusional mindsets. Like even now I look at people way stronger than me and shit. And I'm like, I could do that. You know, I could get there. It's all about small, good decisions. Your goals are going to be built off of just like a bunch of small, good decisions. You know, not one thing is going to get you to whatever, like a 700-pound deadlift, let's say, just because like, you know, that's relevant to me. It's in a culmination. Is that a word? I think, of a bunch of small, good decisions adding up every single day. You know, eating a meal, that's like one very small decision that's going to have a small impact. But if you make that same small decision every single day, you know, it adds up. You know, people be too concerned with like random little things that don't really matter that much. Like, what's your training split? You know, people be really worried about like, oh, is this training split the right one? Are these the right exercises? You know, they will help a little bit, but that's like 5%, especially like your training split. That doesn't really matter. Just do something you enjoy. For me, I just do like push, pull legs. I do like a modified push, pull legs. So I'll do like push, pull, push legs, and then repeat that. The second push day, I do like a really light bench session, and then it's mainly arms and some shoulders. That's sort of like my rest day because I haven't really been taking as many rest days lately because it's not really the most taxing day on my body. Yeah, if you guys want to get jacked, train with some passion, eat consistently, and also get 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep is kind of like taking steroids. It's really important. Lately, I've been making small bad decisions with deadlifts by always going like really heavy. But next time I'm gonna make a good decision, drop the weight, and then build my way back up so we can PR again. Yeah. I'm gonna see you guys at home and I'll show you the last meal. Oh wait, also I'm gonna eat, where's my fucking, I'm gonna eat this Pop-Tart on the way home. It's like 400 calories. It's just some post-workout carbs. Yeah, see you at home. All right, so for our last meal, this is just 10 ounces of beef, 6 ounces of pasta, and then 6 ounces of marinara sauce. I also like add a good bit of sodium or salt and mix all that shit together. And just for some extra calories, I've been drinking just like a cup of Fairlife with this meal. But yeah, that's the 700-pound deadlift diet tutorial. That's what it takes. I'm kidding, but hopefully you can take these as like ideas, because I know some of you guys might have to eat more than me. So it's not like you have to like make these to the exact same proportions as me, but like you can make them bigger, smaller, shit like that. To be honest, I don't even know how many calories I eat, but I'll throw it up throughout the day. Because like I said before, I just slowly added these meals when I like stopped gaining size. I know like Sam Solik be eating donuts and shit to get jacked, and that should, you know, that can work. But I do notice I feel way better when I'm eating super clean foods. I've done that. Like my first year lifting, you know, I pretty much did whatever to get as many calories as in so I could grow. Like at the end of the night, I'd have this fucking abomination of a shake where it was pretty much anything I could put in it, and it was like 2,000 calories or some shit like that. Like a bunch of heavy whipping cream, peanut butter, syrup, whatever the fuck I could throw in there, just get a shit ton of calories in. I low-key think that's what kind of started my lactose intolerance, is the amount of dairy I had my first year lifting, so I could try to get, you know, as big as fast as possible. Yeah, I put in like 50 pounds my first year. I mean, obviously it's not all muscle, but it did grow me fast as fuck. In my opinion, when it comes to eating and like bulking, it's all about finding what kind of works for you in your schedule. Not like types of food that works for you, but like what you can fit into your lifestyle the easiest. Like in high school, it would honestly be probably a bit harder for me to eat like this, because, you know, I was like working 30 hours a week, going to school, homework, all that shit. So back then I ate a lot more garbage, but it was like stuff that I could throw together way easier. Like my first meal of the day would be like a bunch of Greek yogurt and something else and a shake that I could eat on the way to school. I don't know. Versus now, like, I sit down, cook every single meal, eat it. I mean, it's not that hard to cook. I mean, I could do it. I just would have to be a little bit more disciplined. I don't know. It's all about finding what can fit into your life. But yeah, that's the current full day of eating. For me, I mean, you guys have seen, I've pretty much eaten this meal since the beginning of YouTube videos. But like, for me, I notice when I eat the same meals every day, like, sometimes I get to a point where I can't finish a certain meal, and it's not necessarily because of appetite. I think it's just because I've been eating that meal for so long, so I gotta like switch it out. You know, just switching up like one meal, even if it's the same amount of food, makes it so much easier. Like for the first meal you guys saw, for like a month, I just switched it into eating it as just the eggs, then I'd eat the rice, and then I would eat the beef like all on their own, because I couldn't finish it the other way before. But I was able to finish it like that, even though it was the same amount of food. I don't know. And then every now and then, like maybe like once a week, I'll just have like, I guess, a cheat meal. It's kind of like more of a palate cleanser, you know, just having something else in my system kind of refreshes me so I can keep eating these. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just learn to eat, sleep 8 hours, and, you know, train with some passion, and you're gonna like probably get jacked as fuck over a few years. If you guys do want to support me, use code Nick, save some money on huge supplements and Young LA. But yeah, that's all. I will catch you guys next time. Peace. Also, this is our gallon of water. Finish that shit. Bye.